For Whiten, culture includes the human arts, from opera to opera, but it also covers the rudimentary traditions of ape societies.
If you know enough about the behavior of an individual, you can actually know where they come from. So if you know someone wears a tartan kilt, if they play the bagpipes, if they enjoy porridge for breakfast, they probably, you can tell, come from Scotland. So if you know that a chimpanzee is one of several in its group that enjoy coming and dunking themselves in a pond like this, and also that they sharpen sticks and actually use those as primitive kinds of weapons, then, that chimpanzee comes from Farngoldi.
Whiten is trying to discover what kind of mind can lead an ape to culture.
Young watch their parents, sometimes very intently, and over the following months and years they acquire that behavior. So you have to be able to copy.
When apes live alongside people, they sometimes copy our behaviors naturally, without any training. Copying someone else's successful actions beats reinventing them from scratch. But it's a lot harder than it looks. When these bonobos in the Congo started imitating each other, it seemed like play. But they were actually relying on a sophisticated skill set for copying.
You see some other animal doing something that you want to do, and being able to figure out just by watching how they're doing that so you can do it yourself is actually an incredibly complicated skill with lots of steps to it. You have to know what it is about what they're doing that leads to some goal that animal has. You have to be able to know enough about that goal to recognize that you share that goal. You have to know how is it physically working. You have to know enough about your body and other bodies to be able to line them up.
To prove that one ape can copy another, a student of Andrew Whiten's devised an experiment. At the Keeling Center of the University of Texas, Antoine Spiteri has built a kind of slot machine for apes. He loads it with a grape. To get the fruit, a chimp must first turn a disc to allow the grape to drop through a hole. Next, a chimp has to move a handle that opens a door to release the fruit payout. Spiteri now trains a chimp named Judy how to work the device. On her own, she'd never figure it out. But thanks to a sweet liquid reward, she learns the sequence of 2 steps. Rotate, then push. Ka-ching! Next, Judy's groupmates enter the corral. Spiteri wants to know if, just by watching, the chimps in the peanut gallery will learn the technique. Can these apes ape to win this food-finding game? One chimp seems to think she's got it and shoves Judy aside. A minute ago, Judy was the only one with the knowledge. Now another has it. And quickly the trick spreads throughout the group. But for Spiteri, the most important question remains. Have the kibitzers next door also learned the solution? They have no social ties to the original group. In fact, they are hostile to them. Would they set that aside to keep up with the Joneses next door? In no time flat, they're working the slot machine like old pros. Rotate, then push the handle. Call it the Texas two-step. Learning by imitation is an essential skill for culture. And culture, along with the complex thoughts and emotions behind it, were long believed to be uniquely human.
The history of Western thought has always been premised on the idea that they're beasts and they're humans. And humans are touched by the spark of God, and beasts are just beasts.
Something of a revolution came in 1960 when a young researcher with support from the National Geographic Society set up camp in Tanzania. Jane Goodall observed that chimps' emotions seemed much like ours, especially the tenacious bond between mother and baby. At a site called Basu in Western Africa, Japanese researchers recorded the story of an ill 2-year-old chimp. Her mother touches her forehead as if to check for fever. As the baby's strength ebbs, her mother remains devoted.
When I see the scene of the mother looking at the baby, I really recognize the emotional life of chimpanzees are so similar to us.
For weeks after the baby's death, her mother carries the body. Is the mother grieving? Defiant? Can an ape be in denial? It's impossible to say exactly what the mother is thinking, but hard to dismiss her feelings.